Oh, oh, you. I didn't put up music yet. I should. It's a good thing to have music. So we were in the city of London last time around. You guys, as a whole, as a group, have made your way to London. It's been a little hectic, so to speak, but you managed. After leaving from Bach, departing from Bach, losing one companion, fighting some gnolls, and acquiring a new companion, you made your way to the city of London, or at least to its outskirts. After exploring the city a bit, and trying to come up with a plan, a way to enter the city, breach into it, you were you did learn a few things, and as you reunited to decide the next step forward, you were hailed by an old friend of
10 months. 10 whole months.
Two of you only. I don't think anyone else knew of Kander or ever met him. So, after finally meeting this Kander for the first time, all of you were sort of recruited by him to breach into the city and help him take down a target that he has apparently, and he is also willing to help you rescue some arcanists that apparently are not only friends of yours but would help him and you, by extension, breach into the city and save everyone. So, after doing that, you also notice that Kander has apparently a little bit of an addiction problem. And finally, you cruise through half of the city, being as sneaky and stealthy as you managed to. Thankfully not drawing any looks or attentions to you because of the rangers with the most broken spell in the game. And thus, you reached into the cathedral where you came in, tried to deceive your way through a bunch of high-ranking cultists that were transforming this church. I didn't get to describe this the other time around, but this church, it's hard to tell who it was designed for previously, but you see that it has been slowly been converted into a church to Eaglebeth. And there was a whole roll of people in here that you swiftly killed after failing to deceive them. Not by your fault, but because they were very good at detecting lies. And thus, after some combat rounds, lots of shots fired, you ended up killing all of them and capturing this last one person, Lucille, and hearing hails of help coming from the underground, from the basement. Apparently, a voice very familiar to Loza, and that is where we stopped last time around. So, Being Squad, what do you do?
We hear Loza yelling?
Yes, you hear a voice that sounds like Loza coming from downstairs. The only access to the downstairs is through these staircases on the back of the room.
I'm gonna take the staircase to the left.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll head around the other side.
Alright, fair enough. So, Draken, Boulder, and Flint. No last name. You guys make your way down to the basement. Draken over here. Flint over
He has a
doing
last
that,
name. It's called Not From Around Here.
Fair enough.
While they're doing that, I'm going to examine the general or dude and the priest just to see if they have any sort of information on them. Equipment, that sort of stuff,
Sure.
General looting.
Sure. Always gotta do that loot. Make an investigation check, Matthias. Also, I would like everyone to roll 2d6.
Everyone?
Everyone roll 2d6, because I would just simply assume that you make the rounds with your healing spirit and everyone heals a little bit.
I got exactly what I needed. 2.
Oh, there you go. So, yeah. Before the healing spirit vanishes and fades, all of you are able to heal that much hit points. If you can, if you were wounded and needed healing.
I'll roll again for candor.
Sure. And as the healing spirit fades.
Flint, do you still need to be healed?
I'll live.
I have a bit of a plan because I assume that reinforcements are going to show up rather soon from the explosions and fire. I believe you guys should take the captive into the basement and make sure that she stays quiet, and I'm going to try and divert anyone who may come in.
Divert how?
Well, I'm going to use my racial alter self, and I'm actually going to make myself take the physical form of the common folk person that I was disguised as before.
Sure.
But in a not illusory form.
Yeah, you physically alter yourself to look like a Lundalandian human.
And I'm going to also, kind of as a secondary layer in a sense, I am also going to disguise self to make myself look bloodied, a bit burnt. And I want to go and basically make myself prone on the floor next to the graveyard exit.
Okay. So I will assume that as you're looting all the bodies, Matthias, everyone else is also dragging these corpses down, or are you leaving the corpses around? What are you doing?
The corpses, for what I have in mind, we'd leave the corpses but take the captive out of sight.
You only have one captive.
I said it's singular.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy enough to do.
Yeah. But that's what I ask of you guys, is to take the captive downstairs. You guys assist your friend and make sure that you stay quiet.
Just don't get yourself killed.
I have ways to avoid it.
So, Matthias, make an investigation check. On the body of the whatever was his name, the guy you killed, the top guy. 15. Okay. Everyone else moves into the basement, I believe. Draken and Flint and Graf, as you do, you notice that the basement is... Oh, look at that. Oh no, never mind. I did. Okay. On the very back of the room, you do see a similar overhang platform of sorts that is at a higher level. The ceiling is very high for this basement. It's actually a very big place. So imagine this would be some sort of a catacombs or something. On the basement, however, it's no longer catacombs-like. It seems like the city is fairly new and they didn't have time to bury anyone yet, so the whole place is very empty, except that now someone has come and converted it into holding cells for captives. And you do see two elves being held in there. To the cell closest to you guys is Loza. You recognize him, the Arcanist, still in his robes and a little bit tired, and he looks at you guys coming down, and his face beams up with relief as he sees familiar faces coming down. And on the far cell, you do see the Arcanist Shura, just kind of hanging there, not really doing much. It seems to just be not.
I look to Lilith and tell her, "You get her all in a low." And I whisper to Lilith, "She probably has the cloak."
But I don't have these tools. I just have proficiency with them.
Grath do. Grath will help you, pack leader.
Yeah, I can pick locks too.
I can pick locks. I just don't have the tools for them.
Yeah, you guys
I
need
got the
tools.
I got the tools.
Okay.
There you go. Unless Fell's gonna go punch open the door.
I'm going to pick the lock
Okay.
on Lozen's door.
Drake can make an lockpicking check, dexterity based, and whoever won, Lilith, Graf, or Flint, whichever one of you is trying to pick the locks, make a lockpicking check with dexterity as well. Matthias, as you are, by the way, Hentai goes down into the basement. You bring also Lucille.
Yep, Lilith's dragging Lucille.
Kander also goes down into the basement, I suppose. And Matthias, the looking over all these bodies, you do see that this high-ranking guy, all that he had on his person seems to be
A cursed artifact.
nah. If only.
That would be my thing, right?
It would. Actually, no. You do find that he has. Let me just double check to see exactly what item he was using. You do see that there's not a letter per se written, but he has some sort of document written in a foreign language. I do believe you speak Elvish, right?
I do speak up.
Cool. It seems to be written in Elvish. Actually, no, you don't. It is speaking in Elvish. Is a little a prayer of sorts, like some sort of sermon, praising the coming of the long night and the return of the heart of the world, and other such things. It doesn't really gives you much more new information other than, let me see, the only new information you would know about that is several mentions to this to the sunset rite.
Right.
But it doesn't. It does not describe the ritual at all. It just says that we all, quote unquote, need to pray and prepare ourselves for the sunset rite, as our leader will bequeath us with the present of eternity.
Of course. Was there anything on the priest lady at all?
The same document, like the same exact letter, just written in a little bit different calligraphy, but it's the same letter. On the guy himself, you do find a great sword.
Just a basic great sword?
You're not able to tell if it is a basic or not.
Alright, I'll pocket it.
Sure. Mark unidentified greatsword on your inventory.
No more purple greatswords, please.
No more. The priest, she had also a maul. You can write down unidentified maul as well if you would like.
That's just a giant hammer.
pretty much. And
Let me go look up weights for those.
sure, so you bag those things, all of those things, and then run down to the basement with the rest of your companions, I believe. Right?
Very much so.
Okay.
Yep.
Also cool. The music keeps stopping and lagging. Gotta love that. So,
It'll happen.
it takes a very short amount of time, barely enough time for Matthias to climb down the stairs, and just as you're going down the stairs, Briar, Noctris, you hear knocks on the door, both the lateral door and the front door. Seems like there's a large group of people outside banging on the door and asking, "Are you alright? What's happening in there?"
I just scream out, "Help! Help!"
Sure. Someone seems to talk amongst themselves, but you're not able to understand what they are saying, and then within a short amount of time you just start hearing kicks and bangs on the door, and it takes a very short amount of time before the doors are broken down and opened, and you do see now this group of people entering the church. 4 people in the front, 4 people coming from that lateral door. They're in the back where you lie, prone on the floor, and they look around and it says, "By Eaglebeth, what happened here?"
They came in and attacked. They seemed to be going after the priest. It was a group of Arcanists. They were in Dark Brotherhood clothing.
They who?
I don't know who they were. They were just wearing the cloaks. They came in, they made fire, there was explosions, and they killed her, and then they escaped using arcane means. They said something about heading east.
Make a deception check, Noctris.
Do I perchance get advantage on this? Because of both background things and the alter and disguise combo.
No. They will get disadvantage on their insight, though.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay.
Wow,
Nice.
that was almost a nat 20.
But he escaped using unicorns.
Oh boy, very good insight rolls, but not as good as yours. So, as they look at you and look at all these corpses around, luckily for you to corroborate your story, there seems to be a few traces of arcane magic lingering in the air, some fireballs and other such things. None of which these guys recognize, and they look around and say, "East, you said? Is that where they went?"
Yes, they set a rendezvous to the east.
Those fools. If they try to escape by boats, they'll find their demise. Come on, fellow. Get up. We'll get you some help.
And I'm all right for now. I think I just need to lay in rest. But please get them. Our lady needs justice.
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh, not as good at this one.
Fortunately, it's just a dodo.
They say, "No, no way. We need to take care of this place. We need to lock it down, and you're coming with us." We need to take care of you and lock this place down before anyone sees what happened here. Luckily, it's just a little... There's just a little commotion outside. People don't seem very keen on coming out to see what happened, but we're gonna keep it that way. So come on.
All right.
Yeah.
And I kind of feign, hobbling to get up, and I will go with them for now, but I would like you to keep me updated on, where they're taking me and stuff.
Sure. He just says, Peter, help this fellow here. And you just see another one of these guards come up to you, lift you up, and help you get on your feet and take you away. And this other guy that was talking to you says, is there anyone else here?
No, everyone was dead. There were captives downstairs, but the Brotherhood folks seemed to take interest in them too, and they also took them in their escape.
Make a deception check.
They already did so good. Okay.
He looks at you up and down, and then looks at the remainder of the place. He looks at the whole upper floor here. There's a lot of bodies collapsed on the floor. Luckily, your companions are being very quiet on the underground, and as he looks around, he says, all right, come on everyone, lock this place up. Don't let anybody in. Peter, help him out. And Peter just helps, holding you by the shoulder, he just starts helping you get outside of this church. And they take you away.
Thank God.
Not as a
Thank
captive.
God for alter self.
Yes.
Not as a captive.
Yeah, they're taking you. They are worried that you are hurt, and they're trying to take care of you.
Okay.
But yeah, if it was just an illusion, they would notice as they touch you. But no.
Yeah, all that's an illusion is like some kind of blood splatters and just little bits of burn damage type stuff.
Yeah. Someone might notice later on that your blood isn't muddling up their clothes or their hands, but
Yeah.
that'll take a while. For now, they're more focused about this gigantic burn mark on the floor. Flint.
Yeah.
You have a very high passive perception. You hear this conversation going up on the upper floor. They're not speaking loudly. This is a very big place, and they're trying to be a little bit more quiet, not to get anyone on the outside to hear. So they're speaking a little bit quiet. You're the only one who hears this whole conversation back and forth, and you get the sense that they, whoever they are taking your companion actress away to take care of him.
Alright, I will convey this to everyone without being too loud to be heard from upstairs.
Yep. A very short while goes by. You do hear some footsteps of people on the upper floors walking around, but it doesn't seem to be too big a commotion or too many people on the upstairs. But there are people on the upstairs, but they don't seem very intent on going downstairs, for now at least. So,
Alright, that's good. What about Shura? Because I popped her lock open, I would think.
yes, it takes a little bit of finagling, but the both of you, Drake and Flint, you open up their cages, Loz's and Shura's cage. They step out, and Shura, Lilith, you would notice you have talked just the briefest with Shura, I believe. Lilith?
She was the one in Shungan, wasn't she?
Yes, she was the Arcanist of Shungan.
Yeah, I was there when we told her about Riaghailrinth.
Okay. You have seen her before, you have the faintest familiarity with her. She doesn't look like herself. She looks a little bit kinda absent-minded. As we look at her.
Would we recognize this as the absent-mindedness that was affecting the Knolls and Grass Parent?
Not really. When you look at her, she just looks at you all and says, "Hello. Are we getting out of here? Is that what is happening?"
Shura, do you recognize any of us?
Yes, I do. You're the Bean Squad.
Yes, we are. And do you know who are the people who brought you down here?
Cultists from the Dark Brotherhood. Workers, minions of Bronislav.
Yes. What did they want you down here for?
They captured us. I was helping Loza. He seemed very adamant in coming here. And Loza steps out of his cage, rubbing his wrists. It's not like there was anything there holding him or shackling him, but he's rubbing his wrists and looking around and says, "Where did they take our stuff?" Bean Squad. Thank you for rescuing us. I was not expecting events to turn this way, but alas, they have.
Shura, why did Loza want to come here?
Shura, she just looks at you and says, "He wanted to rescue Agnes. She's been captured."
Have either of you seen Agnes?
I have not. Loza says he last saw her since when she was captured, and not again ever since. We came here yesterday, and we were captured as well.
And she's still talking with this absent-minded lilt or whatever it is?
Yes. Shura, she doesn't sound like herself. She seems to be talking very matter-of-factish, absent-mindedly.
She's not trying to hide anything. Did the Dark Brotherhood people ask you any questions? And if they did, what were the questions and what did you answer?
They asked us who we were, what we were here to do, what were our plans, our capabilities. We answered them honestly. They captured us, brought us here. And we were awaiting for our demise, I believe, or until they turn us into mind slaves, I suppose.
Why did you answer them honestly?
Did they do something to you?
Briar, background noise.
Yeah.
Sure, she just looks at all three of you who are there, and she just says, "They had spells that would see through our lies. There was no advantage to lying, and neither of us are accomplished liars as it happens."
Oh, great, magic shit. Alright.
Sure, do you know how long such a spell would last on somebody?
What spell?
A spell to see through lies, because you seem to be
Oh no, I'm not affected. I'm not affected.
Free with your words.
I'm not affected by that spell anymore. It was a.
Can I try something here?
Sure.
Do you remember teleporting us to Bach?
I do. I teleported you to back. Well, Shura teleported you to back. And then she made me and told me to accompany Loza.
Wait.
She made you?
Yes. And Loza comes from behind your guys saying, she is able to create a facsimile of herself, and she did it. It was costly, but she did it, and she sent this replica of her to aid me in rescuing Agnes, but we were captured and we failed, I'm afraid. Those Shura, the real Shura, told me that you were coming this way and we expected to find you here.
I have a question. Did she also explain to you what Branislav was?
She told me that he wasn't who he seemed to be, that we knew him to be, that he was much more ancient than what he was. She laid a little bit of groundwork for me to understand what Branislav is, but I saw him when we were captured. There's Riaghailrinth. I never knew. Lexus was right all along. The dragons are still here.
At least one of them is.
Yeah, that's something I seem to have noticed. Nobody knows of dragons, and this is the only one. And it seems like Riaghailrinth is what was it again? I overheard them saying it. He seems very concerned about some sunset rite or something.
Yeah, that's gonna require a long conversation in a safer place.
We keep hearing that.
Come again?
I said we keep hearing that.
Seems like, from what I gathered, it didn't get to hear much of what he was talking. Weirdly enough. I'm not even sure what to make of this, but I assume it is important. He was talking about this sunset rite. All I could gather was that it required a big sacrifice of sorts, but it would bring back something big.
Wait.
Can I insight Loza?
Sure.
With a 20.
Sure. He's being truthful. You hear, at best, the only thing you gather is a feeling of shame of him for everything that transpired thus far. Being captured and losing Agnes and such. But other than that, he's forthcoming and honest.
Right, well, I think we should drag everybody out of here and not stick around. We can discuss all the finer details of everybody's events somewhere safe.
Can I tell if there's someone still upstairs?
Yes, all of you hear noises coming from upstairs, footsteps walking the stone floor of the upper floors.
Not to mention I had told everyone that Nocturus was being taken to get some medical help by the Dark Brotherhood people that were up there.
Yeah. Shura, she is just walking out of the cage and just sticking around with you guys, not doing much. However, Loza, he looks at all of you and says, I might be able might be able to do something to get us out of here.
Is it inconspicuous?
Not really. It is. I mean, it is inconspicuous, yes, but it's problematic. I can conjure up a circle of teleportation that will take us out of here and back to Purgos, but that's too far.
Yeah, we kind of
And
need
this
to
has
stay
no
here
charges
for right
left.
now.
Dragon's tapping the helm on his head.
We could always force our way out. There can't be too many left up there.
Why not try to sneak out?
Sure.
Sneaking out would be far better.
If no one's around up there to see us, then it is sneaking.
The only problem with that, Fel, is potentially someone will always see you wiping out the last person who saw you. Or the health, or the energy for all of that.
I look to Loza and Shura and ask them if they can make themselves invisible.
Lozer shakes his head and says, "Not really. The best I can do is make myself quicker. Or smaller. I don't know that helps much. But I could try that." And Shura, she looks at all of you and says, "I could teleport most of us out of here."
Yeah, we kind of need to stay around here, though.
Yeah, teleport to where is the question.
Well, anywhere really.
Did you see the front of the town? The outside of the walls.
Yes, I have seen the whole way. Into the town, past the gates, down this main avenue, into the castle, and then out here into the cathedral. There's only one problem though. I cannot recover my magical capabilities if I use it.
What do you mean you can't recover?
That is the limitations of my creation. If I use my magical capabilities, I cannot recover it. Short of being undone and remade again.
Can I roll for stealth and take a peek upstairs?
Sure, Fel, if you want to, you can. Make a stealth check. Graph, as you look around, you do notice that Shura is not wearing her her black and purple robe.
Very good.
She seems to just be wearing normal Arcanist robes. Fel, boy, you are able to climb up the stairs and using your monkish prowess, you are able to climb up the stairs making no noise whatsoever and sneaking up into the base floor, and you do see that there are just some 5 guards. They don't look particularly well armored or well trained, and they are just looking around all this mess that you guys left behind here, trying to drag some corpses to the corner before deciding what to do with them.
How many?
5.
All right, and I'm going to
Also, make
just
a
go back.
make a perception check, Fel. because you do notice all of these five guys here, but as you're sneaking up on them, you do also see that every once in a while the door opens and someone pokes their heads in and seems to talk to them, ask some questions, and you get the sense that you can't see how many really, but you get the sense that there's someone watching the doors on the outside.
All right. Can I go back downstairs and not make any ruckus?
Sure, easy enough. You go back downstairs very quietly, just as everyone else is being super quiet here as you're all conversing with Loz and Shura. And for now, it seems like they have absolutely no idea that you're down there. But they are blocking the passage.
There are 5 upstairs
It's
and
frustrating.
more behind the door.
Which door? There were 2 of them.
The front door.
Doug, what's this line here?
Just a second. What line? That's sort of a balcony. The stairs in the back, they kind of go up into this balcony that oversees this whole place. And it's hard to see over there, but there doesn't seem to be anyone or anything up there.
Nothing, not even like a desk or a chair. It's just a railing, just a platform.
Yeah, just
I mean, if you want to check it out.
It's kind of what I'm planning. I was hoping maybe the stairs led down somewhere else, and we could go through like a sewer system.
No, the back here, the stairs, they just go up into this balcony that oversees this place, but going over there, looking around, there's nothing. It seems like this temple has been built for some purpose, that they never really got to use it.
Maybe Hantai can open that path in the stone and we can get out from here.
What?
What?
He talked about, what was it, dimension door?
That can only get him and one other person out.
Oh,
Flint, do you have anything left on that useful robe of yours?
Hold on, let me check.
Meanwhile, Lilith, just for kicks, make an acrobatics check.
I have slow fall.
That is true. Never mind. I keep forgetting your monks can do anything you want.
They pretty much, which is a little bullshit.
Let me see. I got daggers, I got lanterns, I have one more mirror left, I've got 10-foot poles, I've got rope, I've got sacks.
It's a very showy slow fall.
I've got dogs if you need them. I've got a portable ramp. I think I have one wooden ladder left.
I mean, we could use the dogs as a distraction.
That might work.
As you guys decide this, Noctris, as you are brought outside, this group, you do see that they are staying behind, overlooking this whole cathedral place thing. And this group, they do take you up the main thoroughfare, past the keep and into a sort of a library sort of building near the keep, where they bring you in. Seems like a fancy place where all of these people here they stick together, these guards and some other cultists, some other worshippers of Eaglebath.
Alright. It's still about midday, right?
No, it's pushing into 4 in the afternoon.
Okay. What do they do with me once we get there?
Well, you do notice as you're walking past the town that it is frigid outside. People don't seem very keen on staying outside at all. There are some people staying behind to watch over the church. You do see some of them going in. So your mental mathematics or how many are staying behind is unprecise as they take you away. And as they lead you up there, they keep asking you questions on what did they look like, how many they were, and other such things that I don't know if you're gonna answer very honestly or not.
I would keep to the base story of they were cloaked in Brotherhood clothing. Basically, I'm trying to convince them that they have traitors amongst themselves.
But they bring you to this place here. This looks like a library that has been put into disuse and has turned into something else. Center of study to the lore of Eaglebeth, so to speak. And someone sits you down in this sort of a small study with a desk, a chair. They sit you down in this chair and says, "So, did you catch any names? Did you catch any more planes? Were they going for the bay? Are they trying to escape by the boats, by the ships? I mean."
They didn't give many details. They burst in and they tried to attack the priestess, and all of the guards sought to protect her, and they died in the process. And once they succeeded at killing Our Lady, they vanished in a sort of arcane spell. They grabbed hands of their non-arcane compatriots, and they said that they would meet in the rendezvous to the east. They didn't say by what means they sought to escape. They only said east.
That is troublesome. All right. General Clark needs to hear of this immediately. Stay here. I will send some help. Someone to treat your wounds. And I'll go see General Clark and tell him your story. We will go over this, and I assure you, we will catch whoever did this to you and yours. And I'm truly sorry. But don't worry. They are now resting within... They are resting with Eaglebeth, and they are in peace, I hope. And this guy just turns around, leaves the room, closes the door behind you, and you're alone in this study.
Okay, so lighting.
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 There's it is the small study itself. There's no windows in here, just some candles.
Alright, so I can't see any. Can I look around and see if there's any sort of escape that isn't the door?
There is the door itself, and as you look around, make an investigation check, Nocturus.
Okay.
$15. Looking around, there doesn't seem to be any other escape route per se. The best you can ascertain is that some walls here are... This study is not within the very corner of this building. The walls don't reach to the outside. They reach into other parts of this building. So these walls are very thin and could easily be broken if someone were to attempt doing that. Looking around, you also notice that the door is not locked.
It is not what?
Not locked. I did say that wrong. The door is it's closed, but it isn't locked.
Okay. Oh. Um. This is gonna be a bit risky. I'd like to open the door and just peek my head out. I'm not trying to be stealthy. I'm trying to see if there's just guards sitting outside.
Make a perception check.
Uh,
Even though your passive perception is 17, I would like you to make a perception check. No? Very average. So you're looking out the door. You do see that there's other persons within this decommissioned library. They don't seem to be paying attention to you. They are just looking around the place. Some people seem to be transcribing scrolls and looking to other bits of lore. They're all wearing dark and purple robes. You get the sense that everyone in here is a worshipper of Riaghailrinth in some capacity, in all ranks of their cult. The guy that was with you, this guard with heavy armor, he's nowhere to be seen as you look out, and there seems to be no other guards near you. You just see some another guard, someone completely different, on the door, on the far corner of the room that leads to outside from where you came, and you also see Peter there, the guy that brought you in, helped you in. The two of them are posted there by the door, but they just seem to be talking amongst themselves and staying on the inside where it's warm and cozy.
Okay, in this main room, is there any like low windows and stuff in here?
Yes, all windows are closed because it's frigid outside, but there are
yeah.
many windows.
Okay, how am I gonna do this? I'd like to go back into the study.
Sure.
And look around. It is a study. Is there writing utensils, paper, and stuff?
Yes, there's bookshelves with books, some scrolls written. There seems to be blank scrolls as well, paper, writing supplies.
Okay, I would just like to basically quickly write a note that says something along the lines of, I need to go check on my wife, my child, my family, and stuff, and leave it in the chair.
All right.
And decisions. I'm going to exit the room. And is there any just kind of shit.
You live in the room in the same way you are?
Nah.
Still with your disguise
Yeah, actually, before I leave the room, I'm going to disguise self to have Dark Brotherhood robes.
All right. You're using disguise self as a spell?
It's my trinket. My alter self is the one-time use. My trinket's the one I can use more on a whim.
Oh, sure. Alright, so you go and disguise self now to no longer be bloodied, but instead have a Dark Brotherhood robe. So now you look like anyone else in here, in this place?
Yeah, and I'm just going to casually try and make it for the door.
Okay. So you write down a note, leave it behind, disguise yourself now to look like you have a robe. And you start walking down, lower your head, I suppose, and try to walk out the door from where you came in.
Just maybe nod to one of them as I walk by and leave.
Let me just look up this guy's self, because there's some shenanigans.
It's an investigation check.
Yeah,
not a passive perception.
Spell save DC. So you're using a trinket. It's not your spell save DC. I would say, because it's a very simple trinket, the spell save DC will be 12.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, yeah. Noctris, you stride out with purpose as best as you can, just looking out, nodding to some people as you pass by. You exit the door into kind of a larger hall. On the very far end, there's a door that is unguarded, and you can just walk out of here. But as you do, you do pass through these guards at the door, and one of them just kind of seems to look at you, and their look at you linger for a moment longer than you feel is normal. And this guard just watches you walking out, and you get the sense that he is watching you intently.
Alright. I'm just gonna keep walking like normal, fully aware he's looking at me, but just keep going.
Okay. Sure. You walk out, keep going, make your way to the outside of the building, and pay no mind to having been seen. Who knows what will happen there. So, Bean Squad, rest in the church. What plan have you come up with?
One note, I'm still alter selfed under that disguise. So even if he saw through my disguise,
Yes, he has seen a human with robes, but he got a weird sense as you pass through him, and he doesn't know exactly what's wrong, but he seems to have noticed something is wrong.
Okay.
He keeps watching at you as you go out. This weird human with this robe that doesn't seem quite right. So, Bean Squad, in the church, cathedral, what are you doing? Oh, actually, this is a church. What plan have you come up with?
That's a good question. I'm honestly not sure.
I mean, if you want me to use dogs as a distraction, I can do that.
Is there anything else down here, real quick, before we have dogs try to scare off guards or trick them?
The best to find is there seems to have been near the entrance of the room a small desk. Nothing too fancy on this desk, just a small chest, and inside the chest some belongings that they have taken from these arcanists. Their component pouches and other material components that they might have used to cast spells. However, they were too far and could not use those spell components to cast spells. But that's all there is.
Well, I guess we can hand those back to the Arcanist. Then I guess we're down with the dog's plan, because no one's got a better one.
Well, I was just thinking, Hantai can get the knocked out guard out of here in case she wakes up any time with his dimension door.
Don't you have to see where Dimension Door is going?
No, you don't. You just have to say, I'm going to teleport so many feet this way. Chances are, though, if you don't measure it properly, you might end up inside a wall and it'll hurt you.
Shura does speaks up once again and says, I will not recover this, but I could always teleport 9 of us out of here.
That still leaves the rest of us trying to get out.
Well,
I mean, I have invisibility. I can get out of here on my own merit.
Wrath good at sneaking.
And Hantai can go invisible too.
Hantai can also get out of here with his dimension door.
Regarding Dimension Door, you would have a accurate-ish sense of the distance by conferring with Matthias and Graf, probably because the two of you are Outlanders. I think.
Of Dimension Door?
You have a good sense of distance.
Oh, right.
So you would be able to say more accurately how many feet you need to go above ground and through this or that direction to get out.
Grath's not good at directions. GM always believes I am an Outlander.
You're not Outlanders, aren't you?
Not.
I am.
Yeah, Fel.
Fel is Outlander.
That's what I'm confusing with. Sorry. So Fel and Matthias, the two of you being Outlanders, would have a better notion of specific directions to teleport via Dimension Door.
Alright, so where should we teleport her to?
If we can all try to regroup outside near one of the alleys
inn?
where we
The
outside the city.
inn. Let me check. I think it's a little bit too far for 500 feet.
Oh yeah, one more hitch in the plan. Hantai has no 4th level spells.
So we can't Dimension Door anyway.
No Dimension Door.
You guys teleport. Grath will sneak.
I think it's best if me and Hantai sneak since we can be invisible and get around.
Shall I teleport everyone out then? Shura says, approaching everyone and having this look on her face that just says, I'm ready to do this.
Looks like we don't have much other option other than forcing our way out.
We'll meet you at the house Kander talked. We came with Kander through.
I think we can do that.
Alright. Shall I teleport us then?
As you will.
Okay.
Kander, go with them and show them the way back.
Hold on. Shura can transport herself and 8 others.
Yes, 8 others. So currently you don't have Noctris with you, so that's one less person. You have Kander with you though. So
Kander and a hostage.
I think the plan was for Dracon and Hantai to stay behind because they can go invisible.
yeah, so she's gonna take most of you, Loza and Kander, and
Okay, yeah, it's herself and 8 people. Will leave Dracon and Hantai behind.
Sure. Are you taking Lucille as well?
Well, I don't know. I guess.
I would put the hostage in a cage and bind her mouth.
It's 8 without Hantai and Dracon.
Are we taking Lucille with us, or are we just gonna leave her here? She knows what we look like. And we might be able to get information out of her when she wakes up.
Take her with you.
Yes, take
Yeah.
her. Not good to leave Lucille.
Me and Hantai have to work on our timing and get out of here.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to get past the guards upstairs.
That's an easy thing for Hantai. He can just whip out his fucking bandolin, strum a tune, and he's invisible.
Yeah, it's more timing to get past the guards as the doors open.
I think invisibility also lasts an hour, so as soon
It
as
does.
people are invisible, it's just, hey, don't attack anyone, don't cast any other spell.
Okay. So as you guys are saying this,
Telly.
Fiona, Shura, she starts kind of beckoning everyone to form a circle around her. I suppose everyone except for Hantai and Dracon are joining hands here, and someone is holding over Lucille, who's bound on the floor and unconscious, to bring her along. So, as all of you guys nod to one another, is this the plan?
I guess so. Unless anyone has
Sounds
any
like it.
last minute alternatives.
Sadly, not really.
Alright. So, Shura, she starts speaking some arcane words and conjuring up this spell, the teleport spell. This is the first time you see it cast by normal means in days. And just the way that this Fiona speaks the spell feels different from the other time around when Shura teleported you guys to Bach. This clone of her, this replica of her, whatever it is, it doesn't have her soul. But looks like her and seems to have equal capabilities as her. Regardless, this Shura, she goes and casts teleport, and once again, all of you see that wall of arcane wind conjuring up and swirling around you, completely obscuring your surroundings. And as this arcane wall starts swirling around the ground, the stones here of the church, they wisp away, and then you guys once again are between this vortex of wind, just seeing the world around you spin by, and some things changing, colors whizzing by, and you see now this sort of grassy, earthy ground approaching all of you from below once again. You get the sense that whatever place she intended to go is approaching, but as it does, it seems like it shrinks and then grows and expands and keeps changing, and it doesn't have a fixed shape, and you pass right through it. And you don't land on it as you would expect to. Because she rolled poorly.
We missed.
You missed.
By how fucking much?
Let me see. Because, boy. Oh, I didn't expect this to happen. She should have hit. Oh no.
You missed your teleportation.
Yeah.
Oh god.
She missed the teleportation. Luckily for you, there's not a whole lot of frigid places in the world right now. It is still summer after all. So you don't end up far away from Londonland as it happens, but you do not land in the place you were supposed to go. Once again, as you see this earthy, stony floor passing by you, you see your destination whizzing by, and some of you start getting a little bit anxious and nervous, and Shura, she seems like she's getting some sort of arcane interference, and she's holding the hands of those people she's holding the hands of much tighter now, and it hurts a little bit with how tightly she grasped your hands. And you see the similar ground, packed earth, snow approaching, and this time as it does, all of you don't quite so much land on it as the spell has done so before. You are released into it, kind of thrown into the dirt as this wall of arcane wind dissipates. And Bing Squad, you are thrown, luckily for you, just outside London.
Back on the other side of the city.
You do land on the ground, full of dead, frozen bodies of people who tried to escape the city, and all of you collapse against the dirt amidst several other bodies in here.
Wrath back here again.
Sound off. Everybody's still alive.
I think so.
Everyone is standing up, you just hear Loza puking in the distance. You guys did scatter a little bit as the spell didn't quite work as it should have. And she just stands up and recomposes herself, says, "I was aiming for the graveyard inside the city. I suppose I missed."
Well,
Just
you
a
almost
bit.
got it. We are in a bunch of dead people.
Do
Well,
either of the Arcanists have warm clothes? I just realized that.
Loza, he seems to have a warmer jacket on top of him. However, Shura, she doesn't seem very perturbed by the cold itself. She is a little bit she looks whiter than normal, but the cold doesn't.
Grath, give her the other wood cloak.
Sure. She happily accepts it, puts it on, and smiles at you. Thank you. Where shall we go to now?
Yeah, let's get to the end. I mean, it's not good to stay out in the cold.
I think we should go back around the city and get back inside.
Yeah, weren't we
Fair
supposed
enough.
to meet Dracon and Hantai where the other house where we came into the city?
Yeah,
Yes.
so I think we should
Yeah,
get
we
moving
should
there,
probably
seeing as
head
we...
that way.
Kander, who is with you, he just looks up and says, "Yeah, we will have to go make our way back inside again.
We're like over 1,000 kilometers, 1,000 meters away.
That's a neat trick, though. We should do that more often. That's a very fancy way of getting out of a prison. I wish I had this trick many times in my life, but anyway. You guys are going back inside the city then?
Yeah, I assume Cantor can get us back in the way he did before. We're going to do that and try to meet up with Dracon and Hantai, and hopefully Noctris.
Yeah, I thought we were going to go to the house with the tunnel in it.
Sure. You guys then gather up and once again start making your way around the city to go to the house on the opposite side and make your way through the tunnel again. Meanwhile, Draken and Hentai, you are still inside the church. What are you doing?
I think we're both casting invisibility and sneaking out.
Sure.
But since we're not going to be able to see each other while invisible, I think Hantai is going to have to wrap a couple tentacles around you.
Oh god, that's so weird.
It works.
Yeah, I mean, you can't see each other, so you gotta have a buddy system somehow.
And you're not Belkin with your silk rope.
And you're not a warlock with witch sight, or devil's sight, whichever one it is.
So, Hentai and Draken, you join hands and tentacle, and both cast invisibility on yourselves or on one another. Doesn't matter really, but the both of you do become invisible, and the only tether you have to each other's existence is your grasping hands.
Yep.
So, as you make your way onto the ground floor of the church, I would like the both of you to make stealth check with advantage. Just because.
Because that's what invisibility does.
Yes. So, I mean, theoretically, it's almost nigh impossible for them to notice you, but I would still like the both of you to roll.
31.
Cool.
Well, 16 is better than nothing, but still, it's 2 single-digit rolls.
So, you're just walking out of the doors? You do see 5...
yeah.
We will be timing for when they open and...
Okay. You do see these 5 people here gathering bodies and putting them into this lump in the corner, and then they talk to one another like, what the hell are we gonna do with all these bodies, man? Who did this? God damn. And the other guy's like, maybe they'll burn this. Maybe they'll bring them back. Have you seen the rituals they do to bring those back? Man, I haven't slept for days since the last time I saw one of those. And then a door in the back opens and someone is like, are the bodies ready? And the other guys are like, yeah. Were we taking them out or we're leaving them here? And the guy by the door is like, yeah, we'll get them closer to the door. We will wait for the situation outside to subside a bit, then we will take them out into the graveyard. We'll see what we do. As he's saying this, the door is open. Do you guys take the opportunity to leave?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the two of you leave through the door. It is wide open and it's not hard to pass through the guy and weave your way around. Both of you have positive modifiers to your dexterity, so yeah, it's not hard at all. You slip by completely unnoticed. Even when you're going very close by to these guys, they don't even seem to notice presence moving by them. This guy is just by the door and keeps saying, "We'll take them to the graveyard. Maybe later we'll see what the generals decide to do. Maybe they'll bring them back. Maybe not. Who knows? It's always a mystery with them." And the two of you make your way out. Super simple, super easy. Where are you two going to?
We're going back to that house where we came into the city through.
Alright, fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So, easy
Because
enough.
that's a location we all know.
Easy enough. The both of you are invisible. Nobody pays a single attention to you. Draken and Hentice's passive perceptions are actually okay. Draken, you do notice as you're walking by the city, since you are invisible, I wouldn't say that you're in much of a hurry, especially because you know the house is close by-ish. You do notice as you're walking through this main thoroughfare here, posters on the walls. And one of you strikes as odd, and as you look over there, seems like someone has attempted to make a drawing of you, sort of a wanted poster for Drake and Balder.
What? Can I tell from who?
As you approach it, you do notice now, for the first time, that there are many posters in certain walls, mostly in these high traffic areas, the main thoroughfare and the center square. There seems to be some wanted posters for the Bean Squad and other persons of importance, people who you get the sense have disrupted the Dark Brotherhood's work in the past, or is currently disrupting their work. So you do see posters for all of the Bean Squad, for Lenaro, Brento, Dante, for some of the Arcanists, and for some other persons, very important and powerful individuals in the realm.
I'm gonna do something a little nuts. I'm gonna take a pen from my bag, and I'm going to draw a mustache on Lilith's poster.
Sure. You do see Lilith's poster. It says "Wanted Lilith Deva" for disrupting activities of the Brotherhood, and it says that all of you are offered a reward of 5,000 gold pieces. Lilith's poster also on the bottom. There seems to be a very short description of her main abilities, like she's a close fist fighter who can knock out and stun her opponents, and have radiant magic capabilities of some kind. And you go and draw a mustache. Make a dexterity.
I'm drawing a Tom Selleck mustache on her.
Make a dexterity check.
Straight dexterity?
Yeah.
It's not very good.
Draco.
Draco.
It always happens.
There's no such thing as pens. You pull out a quill and your inkwell, and you dip the quill into the inkwell. And as you try to write, you notice that the frigid temperatures here are freezing both the ink and the quill and everything. And you as you try to draw, you can't really get it to work. So the quill itself quickly becomes completely rubbish in your hands. You can't use it anymore, but you already started this work here in drawing this mustache and say, fuck it, and you throw away the quill, plunge your fingers into the inkwell, breaking the small sheet of ice that has formed on the top and starts smudging a mustache with your fingers. It doesn't look good, but you did a mustache.
Can Hentai push him out of the way and use his own supply of ink to further mess up this poster?
Sure. I would like Hentai to go and make a dexterity check as well.
The two most chaotic characters found post.
Yeah, but at least I didn't roll a natural 1.
Yeah, there you go. Hentai, you have the advantage of drawing with not stored ink, but bodily fluids of some kind. So it's warmer, and it doesn't freezes, and you complement the mustache with a soul patch and some other such details as you wish to complement the poster.
Soul patch. I really refine that Tom Selleck mustache. I add like a huge mole on Lilith's forehead. Her hair is now black. I've shaved off her horns somehow.
What did I do to you guys?
It's
No
I was
clue.
gonna do other people too.
Just start with me.
The both of you, Drake and Hentai, find joy in this, in ruining some of these posters and making them a little bit more comical, and yet nobody notices it because all of a sudden these posters are just smidging themselves. Who knew? And instead of going back to the to the house, I will say that the both of you spend a big portion of your times just having a little bit of fun with muddling everyone's posters.
We waste about 20 minutes doing this.
It takes some time, but boy, is it fun. And by the end, the Bing Squad looks like absolute monsters. But you're
The Garbage Pail Kids.
But you're proud of your work, to a degree. Congratulations. So
You guys will never see these.
What did I do to you, huh?
Nothing. Lilith was just the first one that popped in my head to do it to. Giving a lady a mustache is funny.
So the two of you start vandalizing some posters in the street. Apparently, posters describing a reward for your capture and also describing a little bit of your capabilities. You do notice that the Fel's poster does say that he can grapple in very large bold letters, but you also go and draw mustaches on Fel and such others. And then finally you decide to go into the house alongside Hentai. The rest of
I
you
imagine when we're inside, we're laughing our asses off.
probably. The rest of you are still going around through the house. It takes you guys about a little while longer, some 40 minutes, to trudge through the snow and then make your way inside. It takes a little while longer, but not too much. Noctris, what about you? You are out of the building. People seem to be noticed. Some people seem to have noticed you walking out. Where are you going? What are you doing?
I would. So I'm close to that grate by the river.
You are very close.
All right. So at this time of day, is the wall casting shadows in any way?
But fuck me. The sun rises on the east, sets on the west. Yes, it's casting shadows on the inside.
That doesn't really help me get to the outside. I would probably just. I'm gonna go. Whereabouts is the other end of the tunnel entrance that we used to get in?
The house is over here, where I'm pinging.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna head north a bit, and around like, crap, I don't know how to ping.
Just click and hold on the map with the cursor.
Oh, hold. Okay. So like around here, I'm just gonna like pull in and change my disguise back to just a normal common person, and then make my way towards the tunnel.
Okay, so Noctris, as you are walking out, you do notice that you can, as you go around here-ish, you do notice that you're not on the same elevation as the rest of the city. You are on top of a hill. The whole keep and some of these houses here are on top of a hill, and you can overlook the whole city. You can't get a very good sense of what's going on at the church. You're too far away to be able to see properly, but from here you can see that the city seems very calm, and the sun is starting to set, and you well, not starting to set, but it's getting a little bit late in the afternoon, and you go into an alleyway, try to disguise yourself into not a cultist anymore.
Yeah, just not a cultist anymore.
All right,
Just normal peep.
make a stealth check. Holy shit. Yeah, easy enough. As you go into this alleyway, disguise yourself to look like
Just normal common.
Yeah, it's still
commoner.
It's still the same person, but with other clothes completely different. You walk out into trying to have a different walk about you, and you do notice just as you walk out of that alleyway, one of the guards was sort of tailing you, but they don't seem to notice. You changed persons pretty much, and they look at you, don't pay mind, and keep going into the alleyway, apparently following whoever they thought went inside.
Alright, and I'm just gonna head to the house that connects with the tunnel.
Sure. So, Noctris, you arrive at the house. It's you open the door, get inside. There's still the three persons playing cards. They look at you, and one of them says, "Who are you, mate?"
Oh, I'm here to wait for my friends, and I
One of them stands up and says, "Who are your friends, mate? I don't recognize you."
I can't remember his name, the raccoon dude. I give him his name.
Sure.
Candor.
Candor, yeah.
Make a persuasion check.
Ew, not my favorite. Okay.
Good. He looks at you up and down and says, "Huh. You're not one of the ones who came in there earlier."
Well, I'm sure you know in this line of work, disguises are a bit of a necessity sometimes.
Fuck, that's
It was necessary to keep the route safe.
That's a good fucking disguise. Holy shit. And the other guys, they're looking at you as well. They completely stop their game of cards to look over at you, and then they both stand up. All three of these men kind of come over and start inspecting you. One of them starts poking you on your arms and your face, like, "Holy shit! How did you do this? God damn!"
I just smile at them a bit and just say some arcane means, and I'm just going to go and sit off to the side in a corner or something. My idea is to just wait, because I assume that everyone else is going to come through here at some point.
All right, feel free to wait then. And they go back to their game. They sit down and they keep looking at you. Every once in a while, they shoot glances at you to make sure that you're still there and not doing anything suspicious. You do notice, Noctris, that all of them have concealed weapons, daggers that they are holding on to. and you have very quick access to in case you were to try and do something weird. You wait for about 15 minutes before you hear giggling from the outside, and the door opens and then closes, and you hear giggling.
I assume I could just know where the giggling is coming from.
Yeah, the giggling is now coming from the doorway, and the three men and you look at the door, and as Draken's and Hentai's giggling is able to be heard of, and the guy stands up and says, "Hello?"
And I just go Bean Squad.
Yes, where there goes.
What the fuck is going on here?
I'll just raise my hand and be like, Nocturus.
I drop invisibility. I'm just laughing on the ground.
Hentai will also drop invisibility and will just insert Octodad sounds here.
Sure. As Hentai and Draken and Nocturus are there, these three men, they sit down and shake their head like, this fucking guys, I swear to you, Candor is... If it wasn't bringing in the drugs, I wouldn't put up with this shit. And they keep dealing and playing cards, and all of you...
Wait, repeat that?
The guy says if he wasn't bringing in those drugs, we wouldn't be putting up with this. Did you catch that?
I was making sure I heard the right thing.
All right. So the three of you wait for another half hour ish, a little bit more, before a trapdoor on the floor starts opening, and out of it comes Kender, Loza, Shura, and the rest of the Beam Squad.
Just keep giggling when they come in.
What's so funny?
There are these hilarious posters some kids vandalized of us.
Insight.
Drake, make a deception check. Cause why not?
I'm rolling this 19.
You had no hope.
Lilith, you know exactly who these quote-unquote kids might be.
Uh-huh, and were these kids happen to be a wolf and an octopus, and in their 20s or later, and what were the posters of?
Oh, they were wanted posters.
For who?
All of us.
What'd you do?
I made sure nobody would recognize us while having fun.
Hentai
What?
just look good with black hair.
What?
Flint looks very dapper with a mustache.
Mustache. What? I can't grow any hair.
I'm just gonna facepalm. I work with children.
Kender, anything you want to tell Lilith?
About what? The posters, you mean?
What would Kander know about the posters? He's been out of the city with us. We missed our teleportation.
He has been in and out of this city for a while now. He knows a little bit about the posters. He has seen them.
Not the posters, Kender. About the drugs.
Oh. Well. Someone's gotta make a living. That's how I make my living here.
said you did it because people needed it.
They do. They need it. And I needed a way in. So, it works out in the end.
And when they don't need it anymore, and it's not cold as shit here anymore,
I will gladly move on and put this behind me.
insight.
Sure.
$15.
Lilith, you get the sense that he is holding back a bit. He doesn't seem dishonest, but he doesn't seem to be being completely forthright about the whole situation here.
Be straight with me, Candor. We've known each other for a long time.
Well,
I helped you get out of the guild.
I'm being honest. I will stop providing for these people when I get out, but good as I am, experienced as I am, as you are as well, the two of you, pupils, you do know that one man can't make a whole drug empire. I have people assisting me back in Birkendorf, and even when I'm out of the game, they will just find a replacement. And these people here...
Tell me you didn't start it.
I didn't. I can be honest and say that I did not start it. I saw it was already happening. It was my ticket in to the city, and I just took it.
When this is done, I want to know everything you know.
Fair enough.
Let me take care of that little loose end.
Well, I know you are... your opinions on such things, and I can guarantee you I will not oppose you in the least, and I will help you with whatever it is that you need. But the same goes for me. I will need you to uphold your ends of the bargain and help me with my target.
That's why we're here. Among other things.
Well, glad we have an agreement then. So, Draken, is there anything else about my life you would like to expose to people?
No, I just know Lilith would want to know that information, period, and I am kind of on her shit list lately. So this is self-preservation.
You never
Have you
help
always
yourself.
been our shit list?
He never helps himself. He only digs deeper. Digging
Yeah,
his
hence
own
why-
grave, foot by foot.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
hence why he's always on your shit list.
So, Bing Squad, as you hunker down here in this house, those of you coming out at a later time, those who came from the tunnel, you saw just as you were entering the house and coming down the tunnel that it was 5 in the afternoon. So the sun is about to set and is about to become nighttime, a time rumored to be when the Dark Brotherhood is at their strongest. What do you want to do?
I'm trying to get the pearl from Drakey so I can start some analysis on the things that Matthias picked up.
Okay.
I'll hand him the pearl hesitantly. I need that for stuff.
Yeah, sure. I know you need that for stuff. And then you'll see Flint sit down with the two weapons. He'll look at the sword first,
Sure.
and with his tinkering tools and like a wire from his arm, he'll use the pearl to wave over the sword and see what it does. It's a ritual casting of Identified, pretty much, so it's going to take 10 minutes.
Sure. It takes those 10 minutes, as it should. And by the end, you do identify the great sword. It should be a magical great sword. Not much, nothing too special about it. It's just a what's it called?
+1?
A +2 greatsword.
+2. All right.
Yeah, these guys were very tanky and high-ranking persons of the church that you just took down.
Hey, Maddie, how good is your current sword? Oh wait, you're using that mall thing that you picked up from what's his face a while ago.
The flail.
Yeah, this is a good sword. It'll make you stronger as you use it, and then I'll just do the exact same thing with the new maul.
Okay. So with the mole, identifying it, you do you recognize it. Well, you identify it should be +1 mole, with nothing too special about it.
Alright. Grath can probably use the +1 maul. As far as the +2 sword goes, I don't know who would want to use that.
Did you look it up, Matthias, on the items weight? Tiger?
Huh?
Are you speaking? We can't hear you.
Tiger.
Oh, tiger.
Sorry about that. A maul's 10 pounds and a greatsword's 6 pounds.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, both of them do 2d6 damage, bludgeoning and slashing damage. And
Yeah, 2d4 plus
2d6.
plus your proficiency modifier. 2d6, yes.
And the great sword is a +2 great sword. The maul is a +1 maul.
Yep.
They have weight and such, but you guys can put this in your inventories. Whoever decides to keep them.
Or
If
we can
anyone
throw them
would
in the
like
bag.
to use them, they can go right ahead. The great sword is quite powerful.
Not as good as the one on my back.
Well, I know that.
Grath can use the mole, but Matthias Ranger should use the sword.
I mean, if you really wanted, I also still have a great sword +1 too that anyone can use.
Yeah, I still have that +1 great axe.
Okay.
We have a lot of +1 heavy weapons.
Yes, we should have been a party of fighters. We would be doing great.
Or barbarians.
Barbarians,
speak-
But
yes.
monks.
Yeah, speak for yourself on fighters, because I'm not a strength fighter.
But monks.
Fair enough. Then if that's the case, I'll give Grath the maul +1.
Very good.
Grath is playing whack-a-mole.
I thought Grath was using dex weapons with the short swords.
Yes.
Well, if he need, yeah, but Grath's strength isn't that bad, is it?
Ooh. Grath's strength is 16.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, and if the great sword will really help Matthias out, I'll give it to him.
Dracon will take the great sword away from you, and he'll hand Matthias Wolf's Bane.
You just give him your sword.
Wait, why are you giving me this? This is your family sword.
I'm letting you borrow it right now.
Okay.
You can use it better than I can. Dragon's just kind of looking away, but still trying to keep eye contact at the same time, which is weird.
Is there something you're wanting to tell me? Because this is an heirloom. I don't feel right about taking this from you, even if it's for a short time.
Dragon's just like shaking right now.
If Hantai had any inspiration left, now will be the time to use it. But he doesn't have any.
Somebody cast Fireball and break the tension.
Well, Hantai saw a feasible
Matthias is
instrument.
actually going to take the sword and put it back in Dracon's hands and look at him and like, Dracon, what's going on? This is not like you.
I'm not good with emotions, Maddie.
Look, I know you say that, but some things must be said. What are you wanting to tell me? You're going to have to sometimes just spit it out. And I'll reach down and grab his head, and I'm going to hold his head between my hands and say, look me in the eyes and tell me exactly what you're wanting to tell me. Nobody else is here. It's just you and me right here. Just ourselves.
I love you, Manny. I want to make sure you're safe.
Draken, just as you say that, from the back of the room, you just see one of the guys who was playing card and just go, "Fuck yeah, tell him!" Oh, sorry. And he hunkers down in the corner.
Romance.
And he just hunkers down and lowers his head a little bit and, sorry, carry on.
That's how you know someone's in the closet, people.
I sigh, I look at him, give a grin at Dracon, and I just go, and this is how you'll protect me, by giving me your father's sword.
It's the only other way other than hiding I can keep you safe. You know me, I'm pounce and strike, not brute force.
I'll give you that. You are that way. And if this will make you feel better to keep me safe, then I'll gladly accept it.
It's just a loner right now.
And I'll lean in and whisper to him, so just a loner for now, huh? So is there going to be an honest answer later on? Maybe after, when all this is done?
Traycon is just if he could turn red, you'd see him turn crimson red.
Do any of us hear that happen?
This is a very cramped little cabin. Everyone is very packed in this place.
He's just trying to make it as quiet as he could, but
Everyone hears this very clearly. And everyone is doing their best to try and look like they're not looking this whole situation unfold, but it's impossible not to.
Octris isn't even trying, he's just staring.
Yeah.
but I'll accept this. And I'll do my best with it. But know that you are getting this back.
You better be handing it to me, and I better not be picking it up.
Of course. I wouldn't have it any other.
Dracon's just gonna give you a hug.
Of course, I'll hug him back.
And you do. And in this moment, the two of you embracing one another feel that no matter how cold it is outside and how frigid the challenge you're going against is, you have one another, and you will always warm one another's bodies and souls and hearts for as long as you are together, the being squad. And it fills you with courage and determination to know that fact. So, Matthias, you have this the Woven's Bane now in your possession?
It's a Vorpal greatsword.
Yeah, it's that. We'll give you the stats later. But regardless, as you look at it, hold it in your hands, you can't help but to feel this shaking in your hands as you hold it, and something in the back of your mind keeps calling to you, and you see from the corner of your eye the flail that is on your person seems to shimmer a little bit, almost as if it's not wanting you to have this.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy.
You okay, Maddie?
At the flail, I don't.
What's wrong with the flail?
Wisdom check?
At this moment you would know that there's something wrong with this flail, Matthias.
This flail, there's something.
It is jealous. It doesn't want you to have anything else or use anything else as a weapon, and it thirsts for blood.
With Maddie's hesitation, can Hansai do an Arcana check or something to see if it's a cursed weapon?
You don't know that it's cursed yet.
Only Matthias knows that something's up with it.
And I'm noticing something's up with Maddie.
Can I insight check Matthias?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask
figure
that
out
too.
what's going on in his head.
Sure, this will be a high DC though.
I got a plus 12.
You're talking to the girl with expertise.
Yeah, can I also?
That was
check?
almost.
Oh, that was almost a 1.
Sure, everyone in the room can attempt. Oh, it didn't update for me. Where's the roll? God damn it. Everyone in the room can attempt insight check if you want.
That was so close to being a natural 1. Holy shit.
I rolled a natural 1.
Dracon's too busy being embarrassed that everybody saw this moment.
He knows something's up, he just is too preoccupied with his own embarrassment.
We're all still blushing.
So. Oh, would you look at that?
Bell's taking notes.
Oh no. The Roll20 kicked me out of my game and threw me into chaos, panic, and screaming.
What?
Somehow it did. I don't know.
Dog.
I don't know what happened. Lilith, you can infer that you have seen you have seen Matthias handling a cursed item before, even if briefly you got the sense that something was wrong with him.
Yeah.
And you see a similar behavior appearing now, as if there's this conflict within him that is not coming from it's coming from a source that none of you can see or understand, and you get the sense that he's under some sort of influence again. Draken, for a split second you get the sense that Matthias is actually being polite and doesn't feel the same way towards you. And you get very worried, like ridiculously worried that he's gonna reject you. Nobody else notices anything though.
Not even Lilith with 25?
Lilith
He
does.
already told me.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that.
That's the flail you got off the knoll, right?
Yep, it's
The one that we saw the magic sense with the glowy eyes from, right? Somebody mentioned that during the fight.
Graf
yep.
did.
Grath mentioned that. Can I see it?
I guess I'm gonna try to hand it to Lilith.
Sure. You do pull it out of your holster easily enough, but you don't seem able to simply let go of it and let anyone else have it. Make a wisdom saving throw, Matthias.
Both are just holding one section, Matthias is holding another.
Hey, an 18. Wow, that's my best time on one of these.
Fair enough. You you force yourself to shake your head and say, you know this item is influencing your head somehow, and it takes an excruciating amount of effort, but you manage to let go. You open your hands, and as you do, you see that you have been holding on to this flail so tightly that your claws had come out and dug into your own hands, and they're bleeding a little bit as you open your hands and let go of the flail.
Do we notice the blood?
Yes, you do.
What's wrong, Matthias? Don't like someone else holding it?
No. Yes? Yeah. For some reason, I just can't let go of it. It's hard to let go of it.
Is Hentai doing something?
This isn't just a flail, is it, Matthias?
Would Hantai now get a sense that it could be a cursed item?
He might get the sense. Make an Arcana check for Hentai.
I also did just ask Matthias, like, this isn't just a regular flail, is it?
No, it's not.
Because you're acting like you did with the book, only not quite as bad right now.
Are you sure it's the flail? Please tell me it's flail. Please tell me it's flail.
Pretty sure it's the flail.
This is the flail, Maddie.
Oh, I don't want to let go of it. It feels like it needs to be with me.
Why is there all this tense music?
Hentai, you do get the sense, looking at this conversation and how it's developing, that this is a cursed item. You have heard tales
Remove
before.
curse.
You have heard tales before of people holding onto items and doing its bidding, not necessarily thinking for themselves, and weak-minded people falling prey to it over countless ages, and you get the sense that this might be a cursed item, and you do go ahead and cast Remove Curse because you had it prepared.
Yep. Had it prepared because Hentai leveled up with everyone else, and Remove Curse is a good idea.
Especially with Matthias's tendency.
And we're going to help cure all the Phil's people.
Sure. Matthias, as soon as Hentai comes up to you, waves his tentacles around and casts Remove Curse, you instantly feel the attunement with your item break, and you're no longer attuned to the flail, and in consequence you no longer feel that bloodthirst need to use it anymore. You are freed from the curse.
Yeah, don't use that thing.
Maybe you should
It's
stop picking up
bloodthirsty.
magical artifacts. You're 2 for 2.
Technically, Draken gave it to me.
I didn't know it was cursed. It just told me what it was. It didn't say it was cursed.
Maybe that's what made the gnolls all mean and mad.
I think it could have been.
I'm sorry, Maddie. Dragon's just hugging you tight.
Also, I would like Hentai to make a high DC Arcana check to see if you can.
High DC, okay.
Yeah, to see if you can infer on what's the curse of this item, because identify does not tells you what the curse is.
Oh,
That was
one
so
lower than
close
the
to a
rest.
20.
Yeah, it did the juggle thing again.
But no, you know it's cursed. Apparently, you have seen it firsthand and wasted the spell slot, removing the curse from the person, but not of the item itself.
Well, I can probably, with that, we can keep it so that it doesn't get in anyone's hands, and maybe we can purify it, but I'm not sure.
Put it in the bag. I open the bag.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the bag.
You put it in the bag.
If we're all done being sentimental here.
So, yeah,
Are you gonna finish that sentence, Val?
to a degree now, after this half an hour identifying items and conversing and removing the curse, it's 5:30 in the afternoon. You have half an hour, 1 hour and a half left of sunlight at most.
I want to ask Loza everything he knows about what's been going on up here in Lundaland. And I mean everything.
And we're probably going to explain what we know about the Sunset Rite.
Sure. You know nothing.
Would I know anything about the Sunset Rite?
Yeah, all we know is its name, I'm pretty sure.
I thought Summerlad told us what it was.
No, you heard of the Crimson Rite and the... the Sunset Rite and the Crucible Soul Rite. The Crucible Soul is the one he went through to get cleansed of his curse. The Sunset Rite is another one that he read. Well, he told you that he read in his vision that Riaghailrinth was attempting to do, but he didn't read the book of the Sunset Rite to know what it does. Noctris, you can make Arcana or Religion check. Whichever one you prefer for this one.
Where is my...
You have heard in passing that this thing exists, but that's about it. You have heard this name thrown around before, but you know nothing of what it means or what's about it. You just know that it's an old ritual from the Moonfall era.
Okay.
Regardless, Loza is about to tell you lots of stuff.
Lore time.
Lord time, Lord dump.
Lord dump, Lord dump, Lord dump.
Well,
Dump all the lore.
as we were trying to come over here to London with the Golden Trio, they were opening up a path. They went to Frontburg and fled the city. Then they came. We all came into Bach and trying to free the city. Frontburg was gigantic, and they took it almost effortlessly. We thought Bach was gonna be ridiculously easy, but we underestimated the whole thing. There was a wizard, a necromancer of sort, that muddled their minds and dominated them.
Lich.
Or
Yeah.
that.
Him.
Yeah, we killed that guy.
Oh, that is good. The Golden Trio and Adnes, they didn't have the same luck. They got dominated and taken away. I managed to escape.
Adnis was with the Golden Trio.
She was with me, and I was aiding them, trying to at least. I'm profoundly sorry. I know you told me to take care of her and make sure that she doesn't get hurt, and it happened. I take full blame for that. I won't shake away from this. I know she was in my care and I let her get taken. And that's why I tried to come back and rescue her. Sure, she tried to aid me, but she told me you were going to come over here, all of you. And I blindly came, hoping to find you here, but you were nowhere to be found.
We got delayed.
Yeah, we got delayed with the shadow dragons.
Well, you weren't here, and me and Shura, we were captured. This Shura here, at least, and we came. Well, we have become captives, and during this time they did take us to the cathedral. I have seen Riaghailrinth in the flesh. I thought I was gonna lose my mind. Everything I ever believed in apparently was a lie. But no. I saw Riaghailrinth, Branislav, whoever, talking to... Well, I don't even know how to explain. He was talking to someone, but there was nobody there. But someone... He was having a conversation with someone in some way.
Could you hear the other person?
I didn't. I couldn't hear anything at all. But it seemed like a full-fledged conversation. He was talking back and forth, replying and asking questions. And
Did you catch anything of what Riaghailrinth said?
well, I managed to hear his half of everything. It seemed weird. He's planning to do...
I need to know everything he said.
I heard mentions of the two rituals. The Crimson Soul, right? and the Sunset Rite. The Sunset Rite is apparently a sacrifice is required, and you are able to bring something back from beyond. I don't think that any of you have studied much of the planes.
I just know there are other planes, and my sister talks to someone called I can't remember.
Shayhard.
Shayhard.
I remember when she said it was Shayhard.
Well, there are other planes and there are creatures in there. Creatures beyond our realm of understanding. And our belief is those realms came to be during, well, not that they came to be, maybe they always were, but during the era of the Moonfall, at the end of its era at least, that's when planar travel and access became impossible to do by normal means or mundane means. Apparently the Almighty trapped a powerful entity in... what is the name of the plane? They trapped a powerful entity in Cosma. And this ritual, the Sunset Rite, would bring this entity back. Or any entity of any other plane. But it takes a toll on whoever is performing the ritual, and they might even forfeit their lives doing so. And to bring such a powerful entity as this one they say that they are trying to bring, it would require someone of immense power, such as a dragon, to perform the ritual and survive.
If I may, what is the nature of the sacrifice outside of the caster of the ritual, if there is one?
From what I gathered, the person performing the ritual allows themselves, their bodies, to become a conduit for, well, sort of a tether to connect themselves, a creature from another plane, into this plane, and they act as a tether that allows this creature to come into this plane, and the sheer power necessary to yank another creature from another plane seems to put a lot of stress into whoever is being the person performing the ritual, and it could break them severely.
I just nod to him.
I also heard of they talking, complimented some suspicions Shura had that she talked to me about Eaglebeth. He was one of the Almighty. She told me that you made your way into a Saint Fidani city and learned quite a lot about them. Apparently they were ascended.
Yes.
Yeah, we found
there's
their
a whole
tombs.
history itself in there, but what we think we know is Eaglebeth was a disciple of the ancient god Cosme, who somehow betrayed him, and that allowed the others to ascend and banish Cosme, which is what we believe Riaghailrinth is trying to bring back. because Eaglebeth wants him back.
And all this has to do because Camp Again missed something.
Because what?
Camp Again.
Oh, Hakapfagan.
With her prophecy, there was something, but it's going... Listen, I got 6 paragraphs written in a notebook about this. You can read it.
Yeah, you explain Chiloza the fundamentals of it.
My giant, long insight on the poem that was written by Eaglebeth worshippers a long time ago.
And Loza, he replies, Shura, she told me that after researching a little bit and reaching out to some Symphoday, apparently a creature can ascend if they attain enough power to defy their mortal limits. And that is the Crimson Rite, is the ritual of ascension, so to speak. In game mechanics terms, a creature that reaches level 25 can ascend.
There's levels beyond 20?
No, there aren't.
If you're a dragon.
I mean, yeah, if you are a dragon, your challenge rating can go beyond 20. But even Riaghailrinth isn't level 25.
Well, what does that mean for player characters?
She told me that the one suspicion that they had is that the almighty gifts could enhance someone beyond their mortal capabilities. And she theorizes that if one were to consume the essence of these almighty gifts, they could attain power enough to ascend. In game mechanics terms, you can only attune to 3 items. Each almighty gift you attune to raises your potential level, so to speak, by 2. So if you were level 20 and attuned to 3 items, you would essentially be level 26.
That's why he's looking for the 3rd.
That's why he needs the gifts, so he can be powerful enough.
However, if any of you player characters were to consume a almighty gift, the almighty gift itself would be lost forever, but you would gain 2 levels from it.
How would you consume, like, the orb? How isn't the orb like a foot in diameter?
Well, I suppose you could smash it and then eat it up, like...
Alas, Shura did not find the answer to that riddle, but seems like that's one of the many knowledges we have lost through the ages. Or maybe we never... Or maybe we never had that knowledge to begin with.
Jaw unhinges.
That's not gonna work for you or me now, is it?
No, but it might work for Hentai.
Oh no. Consume metaphorically, not so much literally. But anyway, well, that's what Shura and I managed to gather, and from hearing what Riaghailrinth was conversing, he seems to want to try and do this. Well, this creature seems to be trying to convince him to do the Sunset Rite, and Riaghailrinth, Branislav himself, would act as a tether for Cosme. But I don't think he's very happy with that idea. He seemed to make many questions, asking if he would survive and if he would make it and if his kind would come back, and whatever he was talking to, I did not hear any answers.
Riaghailrinth wants Cosme back because the dragons have some sort of fundamental link, and when Cosme was deposed or banished, then it started killing off the dragons, or they die without being reborn or something like that, and somehow finished off his race, and he is presumably the last one.
Loza is nodding and thinking to himself, and I see that is tragic, and if he is indeed the last one, it's no wonder we knew nothing of dragons as far, aside from old stories and legends. This is a shame. Well, regardless, I don't know what's going to become of us and this and him and that. What I know is that Agnes is there, and they're I fear for her and what might become of her if we don't save her in time. And you can see Loza is not very good with emotions either when he seems to talk about Agnes.
Where did you see Riaghailrinth? Is this in the Citadel? Is that where he stays?
Yeah, inside his keep. They took me there, me and Shura.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since we've been talking for so long, is there a short rest?
I don't know. Would you guys like to make a short rest or a long rest?
I mean, our bard is out of spells, basically.
Yeah, I don't know what everybody's spell capabilities is.
And I'm wondering how much time we actually have.
I'm gonna, I want to take a short rest at the least.
Unfortunately, I mean,
could a long rest be better?
I could use a rest myself.
In short, yes, all of you have been able to make a short rest with the amount of time you have been conversing here, but if you want, you can also go and make a full long rest instead. If you are gonna lay low here in this house for the night and do something else at a later date.
That might be best, because we do know that the cult increases its power as night falls, and it's only going to be getting darker.
I mean, if Agnes can hold out until then.
Do you have any idea where Agnes is, Loza?
She was in the Citadel last time I heard her voice. I didn't see her, but I could tell she was there. And she didn't sound like herself.
If her is under the mind control spell, we would have to use greater restoration in order to free her.
That might be necessary. I don't know the implications of that, but I also know that the Golden Trio also have been taken by that. So there's 4 former companions we have to go against. If we do what I think you're planning to do, which is go in there and stop this whole thing.
Getting in and through the Citadel would be the hardest part. honestly, because we have to figure out how to sneak into a fortress.
Right?
I mean, we can figure that out, can't we?
You can barely figure out how to sneak out of a basement.
We were trapped in the basement, so that's a bit of a hit.
Doug, when I was over there by the Citadel, would I have gotten any idea as I was walking around that hill about how many people, how guarded it seemed?
It didn't seem that thoroughly guarded, but it did not seem like it was easy to get in. There was only one entrance you could see.
Okay. And I relay that information, and also that there was an archive full of Brotherhood people right next to it.
Yeah, very close by. You have seen Noctris that this is the entrance, the very front, and there's a little. Well, you haven't seen the back.